We'll go ahead and begin our practice. We'll start in mountain pose. So I just invite you to just stand near the top of your mat, perhaps with your feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, and even just holding this moment or holding this stance just for a few seconds. And if you need to, you can always adjust. If you need to take the feet out a little wider or even turn your feet outward if that feels more comfortable in your knees, your ankles, your hips even. Just being sure you feel grounded, connected. We begin our practice here, creating this foundation for ourselves. And then we establish a connection with breath. So maybe some slow, deep breaths, breathing in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or out through your mouth with a soft sigh. Maybe a couple times like that just to get reacquainted with your breath. Just as we create a foundation by standing, we also create a foundation with the breath. So we'll be deep in this connection. So feel free to keep your eyes open and gaze forward or downward, or close your eyes and gaze inward. Notice how you feel. Just a quick assessment of your whole body from top of your head to the soles of your feet. Checking in. Good. Continue with the breath. Just slow, steady breaths in and out. That's it. Just feeling your breath, listening to the sound of your breath. And to bring a bit more energy to your breath and awareness, as you inhale, just feel your breath rising upward, filling up your lungs as if the breath was settling in your stomach and you're just bringing it all upward, filling up your heart space. And as you exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Just a light contraction of your abdominal muscles. This is the abdominal lock, or Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock, creating support, strength. Again, as you breathe in, good effort in the inhale as you fill up your lungs, and the exhale, drawing navel in as a way to connect to your center body. Let these sensations guide you in your practice. And a reminder to move as you need to move, modify any poses, rest whenever you need to. I'll just be guiding you, giving you suggestions on how you can move. Be focusing on twisting poses and some binding poses. Take 3 more breaths here. Prepare your body to move. Good. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead and just treat it like a nice stretch. All the way up we go. And exhale, we'll fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. As you take your time and make your way down, you might touch your toes, but you don't have to touch your toes. Then inhale and slide your hands up to your shins or knees and hold here on the exhale, just a halfway lift. We're going to hold here for a moment. This is just half forward fold. Nice extension through the torso and energy moving through the top of your head towards the front of the room. Your hips and tailbone feel like they're moving towards the back of the room. Keep a slight bend in the knees. Now here, just shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees and lower your hips like you're going to sit down. And we'll inhale and come all the way up to standing, extending your arms out and all the way up. And as you exhale, you can bring your hands down to your heart or arms down to your side. Just hold for a moment. It's our half salute. We're just going to do that again. When you're ready, inhale, sweeping your arms out and up. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, we'll fold forward, hinging at the hips. Yes, soft knees.
Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to extend the spine back to our half forward fold. This exhale, fold again, back down towards toes. We're going to hold here for several breaths. Just a different sensation in the legs, down through your back. If you like, even add some movement here. You might circle your shoulders, circle them backward a few times, forward, even big circles like you're stirring a pot of soup with the arms. Then check in with your head and neck. Maybe nod yes a few times, shake your head no gently, just to loosen up that part of the body, the neck, your upper back and chest and shoulders. Even a bit of a sway left and right to release the low back and hips. Ready to stand. Once again, shifting your weight into your heels. Bend your knees, lower your hips like you're sitting into a chair. Lift the chest, extending the torso. Spread your wings and float all the way back up to standing, reaching high. And exhale, hands to your heart or arms down to your side. And again, we'll just pause here. Return to the sensation of breath. And we'll continue with our sun salutation. Moving at your own pace. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Another nice stretch. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward, make your way down. Then inhale, slide your hands up the legs to re-extend the spine, long, flat back as you're able. Now on this exhale, bend your knees a whole lot so you can bring your hands down to the mat in front of your feet, walk or step or even hop your feet back to the back end of your mat. You'll end up in plank pose, this high push-up position, so a strong straight line from head to heel. Take a breath in, and this exhale, bend your knees a little, then send your hips up into the air. So our shortcut into downward facing dog. So hips are in the air. Adjust your feet, adjust your hands on your mat if you need to. You might tiptoe forward a little bit just so you can sense that your hips are really high up. You can keep a softness in the knees or a slight bend in the knees. Just be sure your hands feel rooted into the earth, a nice strong connection to the ground. So you have strong straight arms, energy in the arms, back and chest. Right from here, take a nice full breath in. In the exhale, draw navel in towards spine. Bend your knees, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat. You'll be in forward fold. Inhale, extend through the spine, long flat back. Exhale, refold back down towards toes. Then the weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, grow tall, reach into the air. Good energy in your hands and fingers. This exhale, take chair pose or a chair-like position. Feel as if you're sitting back and down into a seat. That's it. We'll breathe in, nice extension out through your arms. Exhale, dive out of your seat, back down towards toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. I'll call it monkey pose, the halfway lift. Exhale, all the way down we go. Plant the hands into the earth. Walk or step or jump both feet back, plank pose. Draw that straight line in the body. As before, you can take the shortcut to down dog, or with your exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs to lower your way down, finishing the push-up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, create a back bend. Might be upward facing dog, or you can take a lower back bend here. Then exhale onto your toes, knees and hips lift right up into the air. Make some adjustments in the body, settle in. And then we'll continue. From here, inhale, extend your right leg up behind you. Reaching for the back wall is perfect for this. And exhale, step through. Good. Right foot to the top of the mat. Take your time making that transition. So right foot landing near right hand. Turn your left heel to the floor behind you so your whole foot's on the floor, shifting the body weight back so the hands feel light, so you can easily hinge from hips rising up facing forward, arms straight up into the air. And as if you're closing the lid of a box, we're going to fold, hinge from the hips, come back down, plant your hands. Strong connection there. Slide or pull the right foot back to meet the other. Finish your sequence. To do chaturanga, you can modify this by bringing knees to the floor first, then chest. You can even modify the back bend by coming to cobra pose, barely lifting the chest like so. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Just up onto your toes, hips in the air. Make those adjustments. You might need to tiptoe forward a little bit. Even feel free taking the feet a little wider, hands a little wider. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg up into the air behind you like you're going to touch the wall. There it is. Exhale, let's step left foot to the top of the mat. Take your time with that transition. Turn your right heel to the floor. Find your centering. Then hinge from hips, rising up to first warrior. Then exhale, closing the lid of the box. Coming down, plant the hands, and slide the left foot back. There's plank pose. Complete your series. Perhaps Chaturanga Dandasana. Very nice. Inhale, upward facing dog or a mild back bend. Go at your own pace. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing here just for a breath or two. We're going to take a seat, so you can bring your knees to the floor, just kneel down, sit back briefly in hero, then off to the side, so you can bring the legs around to the front and just sit for a moment. Just cross your legs here for a moment and just sit up, because I want to demonstrate something. Because once we're down and into the posture, I want to describe something, but I don't have a really good way of describing it. So we will be doing bridge pose, which is our back bend. We're going to do a bit of a hip opener here as well. And so what we'll do, we're going to cross one leg over the other. So I'm just going to cross my left over right like so. And as you're able, grabbing hold of the feet or ankles like so, lifting them upward, but also feel like you're taking the legs out to the side and maybe towards the back of the room. And you may feel something in the outer thighs, outer hip area with this sensation, just kind of holding them up. Taking some breaths, maybe 5 to 10 breaths, and then we'll switch. Okay? Just crossing at the legs there. Alrighty? So let's go ahead and roll down onto the back. As you lie down, go ahead and bring both knees into chest. You might add a little rocking sensation. That could be forward and back, left and right, some circles. I usually create a little figure 8 just to massage the back a little bit. We'll start with our bridge pose. That's the back bend. So we'll set the feet onto the floor. You can take the feet wide if you want to on your mat, or the feet can be hip distance apart. Nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, empty the belly. You can blow the air out through the mouth. And then lift your hips up into the air. And that creates our bridge pose, our back bend. Now with the upper body, is if you're able, rock your upper body left and right several times, left, right, to get the arms and shoulders a bit underneath you as you're able. So you'd be kind of resting on the back portions of the shoulders. And then you might bend your arms so your arms are at 90 degrees and press down into the mat with your triceps and elbows and shoulders, just to lift the upper body a little bit more, might even support the upper body in this lifted state. Notice how this feels throughout the body. It's very active, lots of energy generating in the body. 2 more breaths. After that second breath, you might wiggle the feet forward a little bit, and then extend your arms up into the air. That should get the shoulders and arms out from underneath you. Roll your way down to the floor. Nice light landing. We're going to extend the body. Extend your arms behind you as you extend your legs out in front of you, and just reach and stretch in these opposite directions. Okay, we're going to go for that hip opener now. So go ahead and bring the knees back in. Let's start by crossing the left leg over the right. And if you're able, you might be able to grab the shins or ankles or the feet, whatever you can reach. I feel like they're lifting up towards the ceiling, out to the sides of the room. And breathe. And just notice the sensations that arise here. Where are the sensations? How does it feel? And just breathe with it. Good. 3 more breaths. We'll soften, release, uncross, and then cross the other way. So right leg over left, As you're able, just holding on to the shins, ankles, or feet, whatever you can reach. Feel like you're lifting the feet up towards the ceiling, then across or to the sides of the room. Deep breaths. There's a pose called cow face pose, and this is kind of similar to cow face. We might even do cow face, which is done in a seated fashion. 2 more breaths. And then we'll release, hug the knees into chest. Start to rock forward and back, generating some energy, good breath. And then as you're able, rock your way up to seated or roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. Let's come to boat pose. So boat, we want to ensure a nice extended spine. You might be leaning back, keeping that spine straight. Feet can be on the floor here, or you might lift the feet. I'd suggest energizing the feet by flexing the feet or pointing your toes, just something active to keep the legs strong. You can hold on to the legs, which I typically do just to ensure an extended torso. And once you feel stable there, you can even release. Core strength. So as you exhale, you might exhale through the mouth, blowing the air out so you can feel the abdominal muscles engage. Let's move here. We're going to inhale first, then exhale, cross legs. If you can, hands in front, and just step back into plank pose, or even just hands to the side and swing the legs back behind you, and just arrive in plank. Top of the push-up. Take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips up into the air, settle into the posture, make some adjustments. Then inhale, extend your right leg up. Hold there for a moment, feel this strong straight line you're creating. And we're going to open the hip here. You're going to bend your knee, bring your heel down toward your backside. That's it. A little lift of the knee, a simple lift of the knee towards the ceiling, not too strong. You'll create a twist in the torso and a hip opener. Breathe in, and the exhale to unwind that twist and step the right foot to the top of the mat, landing near the right hand. Even wiggle the foot forward to get there. Turn your left heel to the floor behind you. Put some weight into that back foot. Extend through the torso, light hands. Float your way up, warrior 1. And with an exhale, we'll open towards the left side of the room to a warrior 2. Arms come down to parallel, still actively reaching. That's it. Adjust the feet if you need to. Feel solid, connected. And then a side angle pose. We're going to reach forward to angle the upper half of the body, and we'll rotate the arms. So the right hand will reach towards the floor while the left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. You don't have to touch the floor. You can even come up much higher if you'd like. You just want to feel a nice opening, yes, towards the left side of the room. Couple more breaths here. And then just one minor change. We're going to bring the left hand down to your low back, just here. And if your shoulder is pointing more towards the windows or left side of the room, you're going to roll them back. Roll that left shoulder back. So it's trying to go towards the right side of the room, just opening up through the chest a little bit more. 2 more breaths. And we'll inhale and re-extend the left hand up into the air. With our exhale, we'll turn the whole body, fold, bring your hands to the mat, slide the right foot back. There's plank pose just to find that realignment in the body. Same shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. Make your adjustments. Other side. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg up and back. Hold as you exhale, but keep breathing. Left leg up. Bend and twist open. So bend the knee, a little lift of the knee, a little twist. Opening to the right side of the room. Oh, the left side of the room, sorry. Breathing in. As you exhale, unwind, step left foot to the top of the mat. Landing your left hand, right heel will turn to the floor, shifting the weight back, finding your centering, rising up, first warrior. And exhale, opening to warrior 2. Adjusting the feet, you might take a wider stance perhaps. Lunging, make sure there's a good knee bend here. Left knee and toes pointing directly forward. Outstretched arms. Here comes side angle, so we're reaching out, angled upper body. Rotate here. Reach high and low. You can stay up high if you'd like, or if you've got the space and it feels okay, you can certainly go down a little lower. Maybe your fingers touch the ground. Good. Stay here. We're just going to bring your right hand down behind you to your low back. And if your right shoulder is pointing towards that side of the room, you're going to roll it back so it's reaching towards the left side of the room. So it opens up through the chest. You might even feel a lengthening through the torso here. Feel as if you're trying to move forward towards the front of the room. From here, let's re-extend the right hand up into the air, and we'll turn and fold. Bring your hands down to the mat and slide the left foot back into plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or finish the full vinyasa or flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. Yes, coming down. Open the chest. Nice back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog onto your toes, lifting hips up into the air. Nice full breath in right where you are. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, let's lengthen through the spine. Crown of your head comes forward. Exhale for the fold. Nice release. Good breathing. Weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Let's come up. Reach a little higher as you're able. And exhale, arms down to your side. That's it, yeah. Maybe a little circle with the shoulders here. Yeah, check in with your body. Even all the way down the body. Check with your hips, your knees, feet and ankles. We're going to get into some balancing here. So tree pose to begin. So starting balanced on 2 feet, soft knees. Little weight shift into your right foot, so press into the floor with the right foot, and then feel tall through the torso. Nice inhale, fill up the lungs. Exhale, engage, pull in. You're ready to pick up the left foot, bend the knee, flexed foot. We're going to swing the knee outward towards the left side of the room, maybe towards the window, and then bring the foot to the inside of your standing leg. I always go to my calf. You can bring it up higher, or certainly go down lower and use the floor. Wherever you are, you're going to inhale, take your arms out and up, reach straight up. They could be a V shape, you can do a U shape, you can even bring hands to heart. Holding here for several breaths. Feel this nice extension you're creating through the body, up and down. Nice opening through the center, core connected. There's a hip opener with that knee pointing towards the side of the room. There it is. Keep the arms as they are. Let's swing that left knee forward, lifting your knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, and bring your arms back down to your side. And then just kind of shake things loose. Let all that go. Got a little balance work. And just return to your mountain pose. Feel tall, balanced, soft knees. Shifting weight into your left foot, press. Get tall here, inhale. Exhale, engage your core center. Now we're ready to pick up that right foot. Flex the foot so the leg is strong. We swing the knee out. This is our hip opener. Even if it pauses here at an angle, that's fine. Placing foot on the inside of the standing leg, high, medium, or low. Then your inhale, yes, taking the arms up. Reach, lift, feel very tall there. Exhale, engage the abdominal lock. So we hold, we focus forward or downward. Good. Good balance work. This is also about concentration and focus. There it is. Well done. Keep arms extended. We'll swing that right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground. Arms come back down to your side and shake it all loose. Alrighty. Let's do a seated twist here. So together we'll inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, take chair pose. And you can take a high seat, which is this, something like this, or go lower if that feels okay. Now go ahead and bring hands to heart center. So anywhere in this range is fine. Just want to be sure your feet feel solid. Actually, there's a little weight shift into the heels, so you can tap your toes. Legs feel strong, hips are aligned. We're in a twist. We're going to inhale and feel a nice extension through the torso. Exhale, pull belly button in, and a mild rotation to your right. Doesn't have to be too much, just a little turn of the whole upper body like it was a dial, okay, or like a cap on a bottle. Just a little turn, little twist towards the right. And again, doesn't have to be too much at all. A little twist. Good, yes. So hips are still aligned, knees are aligned, feet feel solid. Breathe in, and the exhale, unwind. Place your hands on your thighs. Even press into the thighs to help you stand nice and tall. Let's extend the arms all the way up. Treat it like a stretch. Take chair pose again. Take a seat, high or low, hands to heart, ready for the other side. Weight shift into the heels. Toes are light. Inhale. And exhale, pull belly in for a mild twist to your left side. Doesn't have to be too far, doesn't have to be too deep, just a mild rotation. I usually say just turn until your body naturally stops. And there's your rotation. Holding here. You want to feel, just like in that halfway lift we did earlier, feeling like your hips and tailbone are moving to the back of the room, or the crown of your head feels like it's coming forward. You just happen to be in this rotation. Let's breathe in. Exhale, unwind. Hands on thighs. But we're going to slide down the body to a forward fold. Releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Do another halfway lift, or just lift a little to help extend the spine. That's an inhale. And exhale all the way down. Plant your hands into the mat. Hop or step back into plank pose. Come down if you'd like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Modify that if you need to, or skip it. You can still use that shortcut to down dog. Find a back bend there, and then downward facing. Once in downward facing dog, inhale, extend your right leg up into the air. Bend and twist open. Just a quick one. We're going to unwind it and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Take your time with all of this. Left heel turns to the floor. Rise up when you're ready. First warrior. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Yeah, settle in. Find your balance here. And then once we're here, you're just going to wiggle the right foot forward just a little bit, not much. Once or twice, not much. Same distance with the left foot behind you, just a little bit. That's taking you a little bit deeper. Lunge into it. Feel tall up top, yeah? And then we're going to reach forward, going into side angle reach. And if you can, reach a little bit more without straining, then rotate the arms. So we just took the pose a little deeper, again, without forcing it. And then we're going to bring that left hand down behind you to your low back. Now this will be our bind, but you can change this if you want. You can stay here like this. We'll call this first bind. But if you're low enough like this, if your elbow, right elbow is below this right leg, you can go for second bind, meaning you can bring this right arm underneath the right leg and reach up behind you to find your left set of fingers, if they reach. Okay? Now they may not touch, and that's okay if they don't. So that's our second bind. Maybe you can hook some fingers or touch fingers. That's our bind. Yes. Release the bind. Inhale, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. Just a nice reopening of the body. And we'll turn and fold. Hands to the mat. Back to plank pose. Finish the sequence as you like. Modify it. You can always change it each time you come back to this segment. There it is. Once you're in downward facing dog, we're going to move into the other side. Take your time. Inhale, extend left leg up. Bend and twist open. We'll exhale to unwind the body, stepping the left foot to the top of the mat. Nice light landing. Once you've landed, right heel turns to the floor. Shift to find your center. Float your way up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to your second warrior. Adjust the feet to settle in. We'll do the same thing to take it a little deeper. Wiggle the left foot forward a tiny bit. Right foot back a tiny bit. Lunge just to settle into the pose. Feel tall. Side angle, reach out. And if there's more room, reach out a little bit more. Then rotate the arms. You might be exactly as you were the first time. That's fine. Bring the right hand down behind you to low back. That's our first bind. If you're low enough, meaning the left elbow is low, below the left leg there, maybe you can bend the arm, reach underneath that leg, and reach up and see if you can get those fingers to meet. It'll be around your hip area right there. And there's still kind of this, even if you're in the bind or if the finger's not even touching, there's still this opening effect. Yes, you're trying to still open up towards the right side of the room as best as you can. That's it. Okay, let's unbind, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. That's an in-breath. Feel that opening. As we exhale, we turn and fold. Hands to the mat, back to plank pose. Finishing your segment. Flowing as you'd like. Meeting in downward facing dog. I'm going to demonstrate something else. So bring your knees to the floor. You can take a regular seat or maybe sit back into hero and just stay in hero or just sit on the floor. Okay? Either one. Let's see. So from a down dog, I'll do it with my right leg here. I'm going to lift my right leg, nice extension, bend, a little twist, doesn't have to be too much, a little lift of the knee, creates the twist in the spine and the hip opener. We're going to unwind this. The direction will be bring the right knee down to the floor between the hands at wrist level. Okay, so my knee is on the floor at wrist level, and I've swung this right foot over to the left side of the room. And this left knee is just going to come down. So there's about, I don't know, maybe a foot or so between my knees here. But I'm going to sit back. Actually, I'm going to swing that foot that way. I'm going to sit back. So I have to press into the floor. I'm lifting this front knee, keeping the foot where it is there, and then sit back until I'm in this seat. Okay? So I've just manipulated the body here from this kneeling position to a seated position. Puts us into half Lord of the Fishes, which will put us into a twist. I'm just going to twist to my left. Okay? So that'll be our transition. Getting out of that, we'll just come into boat pose. You'll end up somewhere near the back end of your mat. Okay, so from your seated position, return to down dog. We'll try that. Return to your downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and inhale, extend the right leg up into the air, bend and twist. We're going to unwind it. We're going to bring the right knee carefully down to the floor between the wrists, and the right foot will swing out to the left side. We'll set the left knee down. It's kind of in a straight line behind the right knee, but swing the left foot over to the right side. You have to manipulate yourself here. We're going to sit back, so use your hands to press and lift. This front knee will lift. Keep that right foot in place. Catch yourself, sit back behind you. So it's basically the right foot stepped over the left knee. You can certainly adjust here. You might start by holding onto your shin to sit up nice and tall. Extend your left arm up into the air. A little twist to your right. Now, several ways you can do this. This left elbow can come to the outside of the knee. If that feels like it's too much, you can just hug the knee with the elbow or just hold on to the knee with the hand. Right hand will come behind you. Just press into the floor to help that spinal extension. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale for the rotation. And just like the chair pose that we twisted, you don't have to twist too far. You don't have to force it. Don't pull yourself into the pose. Don't need to force it. So this gets certainly a rotation, it's a twist, also gets into the hips. So notice those sensations. Take 3 more breaths here. And we'll carefully unwind. Bring the hands behind you so you can kind of lean back into the hands. Lean back so you can uncross the legs. I like to put the heels on the floor, just lift just to get the hips in the right spot on the floor. And then just come to boat pose. And again, yeah, you might be near the back end of your mat, that's fine. Breathing in, we're going to move right away like you're floating up. Exhale, cross legs. You have all that room out there, so you just kind of crawl forward so your feet are so your hands are at the top of the mat. And then just come to plank pose. Just take a shortcut to down dog. Just going to do the exact same thing other side. So inhale, extend left leg into the air, a little bend and twist, a little twist in the spine, hip opener. As we exhale, we're unwinding, setting the left knee onto the floor between the hands at wrist level. Swing that left foot over to the right edge. Set the right knee down behind the left. Swing that right foot off to the left side. We're going to sit back. So just kind of push, lift, catch yourself, sit. Left foot stepped over the right knee, adjust. Hold on to the shin. Here's another way of getting into the pose just to ensure your spine is long. You might start with the left hand behind you. Press into the floor to get nice and tall. Okay, then you can take the right arm up, elbow to the outside, or hug the knee, or just hold on to the knee. And your exhale with a twist to the, yes, to the left. Modify that. Very good. Marichyasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Three more breaths. Excellent. And we'll start to unbind here. Hands behind you. So you can lean back. Let's uncross the legs. Resit if you need to. And you just guide your way into boat pose. Okay, here we go. Breathe in like you're floating up. Exhale, cross legs. Hands out in front. Back to our plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or complete the series, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice full breath in, fill up your lungs in down dog. Exhale, draw belly in, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to a forward fold. Inhale, extend through the spine. Exhale, fold again. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Yes, come up, reach high. Exhale, arms down to your side. Very good. Shake all that out. All right, so we did a balancing pose. We did tree pose. Let's do another standing balancing posture, eagle pose, because eagle has binding elements. Okay, so just follow me. So we'll start with the arms. You're going to inhale, take the arms out and up. Big stretch. Exhale, bring the arms down slowly. Pay attention to your left arm and hand. You can bring the arms down in front of you. Bring the left arm down and behind or underneath the right, crossing at the elbows. So left arm underneath the right, cross at the elbows there. Yeah, you can do it up high too. Flip the palms forward and then lift. Just want to make sure your left arm's underneath the right. You're going to wrap it up if you're able. If you can't, that's okay. And then the chair pose, just take a little seat. Just bend the knees, sit back. Put weight into your right foot. Root into the floor. Make sure you have core engagement with an exhale so you can pick up that left foot, cross this left leg entirely over the right. Now this left foot can be free. Just be sure to energize the foot, maybe flex the foot or point the toes. You can even use the floor. If you're able, I'm not able to, not usually, try to hook the foot around the leg there. Yes. And then, so we're in a bind. So we got the wrapping of the leg around the other. We have a core connection, pulling belly in since we're balancing, and this wound up sensation in the arms. And just squeeze a little tighter up and down the body. Just inhale right there. We're going to exhale, unbind. Start with the legs. Unwrap the legs, plant the feet. Let's unwrap the arms. Go in slow motion, reach out, just to free up the body. Notice that sensation of freeing yourself. Reach up. Exhale, slowly bring the arms down. We're doing the other side. So right arm will come down and behind or underneath the left. Wrap it. You can do it up high or down low, either one. So you're going to wrap up the arms the other way. A little chair pose, just a little bend of the knees. Put weight into the left foot. Strong connection, core connection with an exhale. Ready for balance. Pick up the right foot, cross right leg entirely over the left. Wrap it up, squeeze. Okay. And so with the arms out in front, we get this little pull sensation from the upper back, round through the shoulder. Yes. This gets into the hips a little bit. Certainly there's balance. Challenges our focus because our arms are in the way. So just imagine you have X-ray vision. You can see right through your own arms. Inhale, squeeze a little tighter. Exhale, unwind. Step the feet together on the floor. Unwrap the arms. Reach out, reach up. We're going to keep it moving. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. That's our long, flat back, lifting up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend, hands to the floor. Hop or step back. Plank pose. Come down if you'd like. Chaturanga Dandasana. Modify it if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog or a cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make some adjustments, then we'll continue. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist. Unwind, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Back to our warrior one segment. Left heel to the floor behind you. Take your time, even though I'm talking fast, but it doesn't mean you have to go fast. Rise up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Adjust the feet, maybe a little wider if that feels okay. Side angle reach. Forward, rotate the arms. Take first bind, which is just left hand to low back, or second bind if you're able. Yes, right arm underneath, maybe looking for that left hand behind you. Perfect. That's our bind. Inhale, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. Okay. Turn, fold, hands to the floor. Step back into down dog. Okay. Step back to down dog. So both feet still on the floor. Both feet on the floor, hips in the air. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the sky, bend and twist. Unwind, step through, left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Find your center first, so you can easily float your way up. Opening to warrior two. We're just flowing with breath. Lunging a little deeper as you're able. Here comes side angle. Reach out, rotate the arms. Reach high and low initially. Right hand comes down to low back for a first bind, or take the second one if you're moving that direction. Maybe the couple of fingers can hook here. Feel all these sensations. We're going to unbind here, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. Turn, fold, hands to the floor. You're just going to step back into down dog. Both feet on the floor, hips in the air. Feel the realignment of the body. Full breath in. Exhale, hop, step, or walk. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Monkey pose. That's just the extended spine. Fold again. Inhale to reverse your swan dive. Grow tall. Reach into the air. Yes. Exhale, arms to your side. All right, let's put all these things together. Let me just show you. So it's going to start in eagle. So it starts in the bind. Let me just show you. So I'm just going to kind of hop into an eagle pose. A little squeeze, really get that bind. To get out of the posture, I'm going to start with the legs. Uncrossing the legs first. Then rather than just stepping here, I'm going to step it back. Take several steps if you need to. Get it way back there into a lunge. Once you're in your lunge, unbind the arms. We're going to be in warrior two. You're going to reverse your warrior, taking your right hand up into the air. Nice side body stretch. A little cartwheel effect into a side angle, into the bind. Okay, here's that full bind or partial bind. We'll open it up. Down dog by sweeping the right foot back and up. Bend and twist. We're going to go to the half Lord of the Fishes. Okay, right into your pose. Okay. What's that? I don't think there is, because it's half, because you're only doing one side. It's Lord of the Fishes, but it's half. I don't know what. So it's just one-sided. So Lord of the Fishes, I'll tell the story once we get there, but it's actually considered the first. A fish was considered the first student of yoga. Alrighty. So mountain pose. Starting with eagle, arms. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, arms down. Left arm comes down behind or underneath the right. Wrap it up. Take a little seat. Weight shift into right foot. Core engagement. Cross left over right. Modify as you need to. Use the floor. Squeeze legs, belly, and arms. Inhale, a little tighter. Exhale, unbind the legs, uncross, step it back. Okay, take several steps if you need to. Get a nice wide lunge. Open the arms. It's kind of the liberation of the body. Reverse your warrior. Right hand up into the air. Reach up, maybe slightly behind you. Little cartwheel to side angle. So right hand down, left hand up in the air. And then your bind. Left hand to low back, or that deeper bind to hook fingers behind you as you're able. Yes. Just a quick moment there. Let's liberate. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Opening through the heart. Turn and fold. Hands to the floor. Back to down dog. You're going to sweep the right foot back and up into the air. Bend and twist. With an exhale, let's bring that right knee down to the floor. Lightly between the wrists. Make sure the foot swings out to the left side. Set the left knee down. Swing the foot off to the right. And then shift and sit back. Set yourself up for half Lord of the Fishes. Nice and tall. Maybe start with right hand behind you, just to ensure an extended spine. Hand on knee. Hug the knee or elbow to the outside of the knee to twist. So, quick story. So Shiva, kind of the Lord of Yoga, he's out on his boat with Parvati, okay, his partner, and he is teaching Parvati the mysteries of yoga. Meanwhile, there's a fish nearby listening in the pond while they're sitting in their boat. And Shiva notices the fish and declares it a lord. You are now Matsyat, I can't even say the word now. You are now Lord of the Fishes and considered the first student of yoga.
And what move did the fish do this?
He was waving. Hey, over here. I don't know. Let's unwind here. Lean back, uncross, come to boat pose, Navasana. A lot of our seated twisting postures, like that one, are named after like wise sages or teachers or people. And so that's one of the considerations of that particular posture. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands way out in front. Back to your plank pose. Finish the flow, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for a moment, feel the re-extended spine. Take a nice full breath in, ready to move. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to forward fold. Monkey pose, the extended spine. Refold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up. We're going to go move right away to the second side. Eagle pose. Exhale, arms come down. Right arm will come down and behind or underneath the left. Lift and wrap. Take a seat. Weight shift into your left foot. Core control. With an exhale, pick up right foot, cross right leg. Entirely over the left if you're able. Entirely over the left. Squeeze a little tighter. You might even feel this in the outer hips a little bit. Okay, inhale. Squeeze tighter. Exhale. Unbind the leg. Step back. Tap it back or just step back. Wide lunge. Liberate the body. Open up the arms. Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Left hand up into the air. Side angle. A little cartwheel. Left hand down. Right hand up. Nice opening. And then take your bind. Right hand behind or lower to hook the fingers. Okay, we'll inhale, re-extend the arms, floor to ceiling. The exhale, return to the floor with both hands. Back to down dog. Sweep the left foot back and up into the air. Bend and twist. Let's set it up for half Lord. Left knee to the floor. At wrist level. Swing out that the foot. Set the right knee down, make a little space behind you. Sit back. Nice and tall, maybe left hand behind you to help keep that lifted torso. Choose your arm posture. Now we're already in a bind, but you could bind this more, possibly. Now, let's see, I really can't do this either. Let's say the right elbow is on the outside of the left knee here. way of doing this, I can do this several ways, but you would drop that right hand. It goes into that little triangle opening of that bent leg, and then the left hand behind you, yes, you'd bind there. There you go. Yes. 2 more breaths. Once we get into bind, I think the important part is experiencing the release of the bind, letting go, liberating the body. That's what yoga is about, liberating yourself. Leaning back, unbind the legs. Let's find boat pose. Breathe in, lift. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Plank pose. Or bring the knees to the floor. Sit back briefly in hero. Let's go ahead and do that cow face pose. So you might want to have a block nearby. Just have it just next to you. Okay? Now come back to down dog. Just have that block nearby. We're going to take the right leg up into the air. Bend and twist. Just follow me. You can go ahead and do this with me. Bend and twist. Same thing. We're going to bring that right knee to the floor between the wrists. Stay there. Right foot's going to swing off to the left side. Now you might need to step your hands forward here. Okay, a little more bounce. You can pick up that whole left leg. Bend the knee. You're going to tuck the left knee in tightly behind the right. Okay, almost like eagle. And then swing that left foot off to the right side. So you have a little triangle space behind you. And then use your hands to help sit back and down. Now, if you can get to the floor, sit on the floor. If you can't reach the floor, that's why the block is there. Sit on the block. Okay? So this is almost like that pose we did lying down, holding onto the feet. Okay? This is just the seated version. To bring more sensation to the outer hips, you can send the feet forward. Okay, if you're able. Oof. Or even fold forward. That'll get into those outer hips. So we're binding the legs. There is more to the posture. We're just not doing the arm part of it. Just getting into the leg part of it. We're going to do a little yoga magic to get to the other side. Okay. This is the only magic that I know. Okay, stay right where you are. I'm just going to turn sideways here. Okay, so the feet or toes are going to stay as they are, just kind of plugged into the mat. I'm going to lift and get off my block for a moment. I'm going to get on my hands here, tuck my toes so I can get the knees off the floor. Now, I can't turn to my right, but I can turn to my left. I'm just spinning on my toes or feet here. Knees stay bent. Go all the way around, all the way around, and you'll end up on the other side. And that's... Yes, yes. You can do a shortcut, absolutely, just like the other shortcuts. Where you can do the yoga magic, that's it. Just keep spinning until you're facing forward, and then take a... and there you are, other side. Did you make it all the way around? Yep.
Based on the story of origin of the half fishes, is it always part of the sequence to do boat pose right after that?
No. I like it because it is a boat, and with the story of the boat, them being in a boat, but not necessarily. 2 more breaths. If you are on a block, we're just going to lift so we can get off the block. Even just take the hands behind you so you can lean back so we can get out of the bind of the legs. Just find your center on the mat. Roll down onto your back. Let's draw the knees into chest. A couple breaths here. Just one last movement. And just our final twist. Just bring the knees. Take both knees over to the left side of the room. As you extend your right arm off to the right side. Take several breaths here. We packed a whole lot into our hour. All of our binding postures and twists and our sequences.
just a couple more breaths. I want to give you at least a few minutes where you can lie comfortably in Shavasana. Whenever you're finished with that first rotation, let's bring the knees back up to center, and then take the knees to the other side. Perhaps 2 more breaths. And make your way back to center. And once here, just extend your legs out in front of you. Arms can rest down by your side. Just settle into Shavasana. This connection to the ground, the earth, complete release of the body. Now, sometimes lying flat on your back isn't the most comfortable position. So if you are lying down, you might bend your knees. That might feel a little bit better. Or you might roll and lie on your side. Or you can even come up to seated. Return to the awareness of your breath. Just notice your breath. As you're breathing in and out, just acknowledge your practice. Our flowing segments of twisting and binding, with the intention of experiencing liberation, freedom, letting go. Letting go of the binds that you're holding on to, letting go of the binds that are holding on to you. Carefully and slowly roll onto either side of your body, just briefly here in this nurturing pose. And then, still moving as slowly as you can, rise to a seated posture. Your hands can just stay in your lap if you'd like, or bring hands to heart center. And just finish with one more breath in and out. Full and complete breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.